What's up, YouTube? This is Luke with Wilson Auto Detailing, and today's subject of this video is Mcguire's Wheel Brightener. Now, what is Mcguire's Wheel Brightener? It is a dedicated wheel cleaner, or a rim cleaner, if you will. It is designed to break down the brake dust on the face of the rim as well as on the inner barrel of the wheel. So, before I show you exactly how this product works, let me give you a couple things about wheel cleaners, about this specific wheel cleaner, and why this wheel cleaner, Mcguire's Wheel Brightener, might be what you want in your world. Now, obviously, I am on location at a customer's house right now detailing a Meguiar, just a sedan-sized car, kind of a lower-end car, not really any big deal, but anyways, obviously, brake dust can be an issue for a lot of people because it is something that does not come off that easily, especially if it's left for a long time. And it is important to understand that brake dust is corrosive. And if you leave brake dust on the wheel for a long enough time, it will end up eating into the clear coat on the wheel and eating into the aluminum. So it's important to take it off pretty regularly. Now, about wheels, this day and age, it is very important to note that all wheels have a clear coat layer that surrounds them, much like the clear coat on the outside of your car. Now, that means that when you are cleaning the wheel, you are not actually cleaning the aluminum or the metal piece. You are actually cleaning the protective clear coat layer. Now, I talk about the same thing in my video that is far too long, and it is on leather seats. It's about 45 minutes long, and leather seats are the same way. You're not actually cleaning the leather, you're cleaning the clear-coated plastic protective barrier that is on the leather. Now, this is good news for us because it makes things easier to clean, it makes things last longer, and those are two very good things in our world, in the detailing world. So once again, all my videos are dedicated for three main groups of people. One, the do-it-yourselfers, two, the car enthusiasts, and three, the professional detailers out there. So follow along as I continue with Mcguire's Wheel Brightener. Now, this specific product is an acid-based wheel cleaner. Don't freak out. Let me explain a couple myths and let me explain a couple things about wheel cleaners and specifically some things that surround acid wheel cleaners in the detailing world. Now, wheel cleaners come basically in, no pun intended for those of you who get that joke, basically, because we're talking about acids. Anyways, if you didn't get it, don't worry about it. Now, wheel cleaners, as a rule, come in two main types of, let's say, categories. One, you have the acid-based wheel cleaners, and two, you have the pH-balanced wheel cleaners, which I will get to. So let me explain. Once again, I have taken a lot of chemistry in my short lifetime of 20 years old, and if you don't know what the pH scale is, you can fast forward through this part, but I'm going to explain something to help clear up the confusion that surrounds this. The pH scale is something that measures the acidity or the basicness of really anything, any solution or product or whatever. What is it? Its pH scale is rated 1 to 12. If it's between 7 and 12 is basic, and between 1 and 7 is, wait, am I saying that right? No, I'm saying that right. Yeah. So anyways, the pH scale measures the acidity or the basicness of anything. If it's an acid, pretty much all that means is it donates a hydrogen. If it's a base, it just means that it receives a hydrogen. Now, that probably doesn't make any sense to you, but at a molecular level, that's actually what's happening. Now, why does that matter with what we're talking about here? Well, because Mcguire's Wheel Brightener is an acid-based wheel cleaner, which a lot of people get very up in arms about, and they say, don't use an acid-based wheel cleaner because it'll hurt your rims, it'll hurt your wheels. Well, let me tell you that is trash, because I don't know if you've noticed, but the whole time I've been talking and saying that this is an acid, this product is sitting in a plastic bottle, a plastic container, and has been sitting in this plastic container for like 6 months now. And the plastic is still totally intact. Interesting how the acid is not totally dissolving and corroding the plastic away. Why is that? Because though it's an acid, it is not a very strong acid, meaning if you touch this with your hands, you will not lose your fingertips or your skin, because not all acids are sulfuric acid, okay? Don't touch sulfuric acid. That's not a good idea. But touching this stuff, it is not very acidic on the pH scale, though it is acidic at a molecular level. So yes, it is an acid-based wheel cleaner. But does that mean that it's going to hurt your rims because it is an acid? Not at all. However, if you get on the detailing forums or you ask some pro detailers, you will be very confused and you will begin to question whether or not you should get this product, because they're going to say things like this: it's going to hurt your wheels. 2, it's going to dry out your wheels. 3, it's going to hurt the clear coat on your wheels and begin to cause the clear coat to corrode and the metal will rust. 4, I can't even come up with anything else because it's so ridiculous. Now, I use this product on every single wheel I detail. I mean every one, 10 out of 10, 100%, okay? And guess what? None of them have ever been damaged. Not now, and they're not ever going to be. Why? Because even though this is an acidic product, it is very, very safe. Now, there are products on the market that are wheel cleaners, and they're going to be labeled a wheel cleaner, and below it, it's going to say something like this: this product is pH balanced. Well, let's break that down for a second. We just said that the pH scale is just something that chemists, or really in the scientific world, we use to measure how acidic or basic something is. Well, pH balanced. What do you mean? Balanced relative to what? Relative to lemon juice, relative to water, relative to human blood, relative to the Mcguire's wheel brightener. pH balanced relative to what? I mean, and honestly, think about it like this. If something is truly pH balanced, then that means what you're dealing with is water. Because water has a pH level of 7, which means it's right in the middle. It's neither acidic nor basic. It's completely neutral. It neither donates nor receives a hydrogen in most cases. So it is neither acidic nor basic. It's pH balanced. So truly, if something is pH balanced, it means it's water, right? So that doesn't even make any sense to say that something is pH balanced. So let me explain why manufacturers put pH balanced onto their products. Because, for the most part, the public does not understand the pH scale, and it's a very good marketing technique, because if you look at 2 products and one just says Mcguire's wheel brightener and the other one says Mother's wheel brightener, pH balanced, safe for your wheels, which one is the buyer more likely to pay for? Probably the one that says pH balanced, because all of a sudden in their head they go, wait, does that mean this product is going to damage my wheels, and if I don't know how to use it right, or is it going to hurt? Is it going to do something to the metal? Is it going to discolor it or fade it? I'd better get the pH balanced, safe product. And once again, consumers are confused because we don't understand the marketing tricks, and so we end up getting the pH balanced one. Now, with that being said, give me 1 second because my customer is coming up. And that was not my customer, that was my friends that I haven't seen in forever, and that was very sweet of them. So, anyways, pH balance is not something you need to worry about. It is not something that's going to affect anything. Don't listen to the misinformation and the opinions and the hype when people say, you need to get pH balanced wheel cleaner, or it's going to destroy the aluminum or the metal or the clear coat. That's not true. And like I said earlier, this acid is in a plastic bottle. Plastic bottle. And it's totally fine. So, though something may be an acid, it doesn't mean it is it's going to melt everything it touches. There are scales and there are levels and degrees of acidity. So that's not something you need to worry about. Now, the reason why I use this is because it's effective. It's level 10. It works better than the pH balance stuff because the acid reacts with the brake dust and it corrodes the brake dust, it destroys the brake dust, and it makes it very easy to clean away. Now, as I said earlier, if brake dust is left on the wheel for too long, it will end up eating into the clear coat. So let me show you this wheel in particular. And once again, I got a tripod. It makes my life so much better. So you can see that there's brake dust all around, right? And that just means like this dirt. That's what I mean when I say brake dust, is this dirt. Won't go into a ton of detail about exactly what brake dust is, but obviously this car is not detailed on a regular basis or anything like that, so that's why this stuff is all up in here. And I haven't detailed the tire or the wheel wells, obviously. But understand that brake dust does not just collect on the face of the rim, it also collects on the inner barrel of the rim, so all inside here, okay? And here's what's important to understand about that, is inside here, brake dust tends to sit more than any other place because people don't detail the inner barrel out. So sometimes I talk with my customers and I say, you might not want me to detail out the inner barrel of the rim because there may be some of that brake dust that has sat there for a really long time and has now become permanent. So if I were to clean the inner barrel out, there's going to be some spottiness where the brake dust has actually eaten into the aluminum and become a permanent part of the wheel, and the spottiness actually looks worse than the one solid color of black on the inside. Even though it's dirt, it's one solid color. It looks better than it would look if I cleaned it. So you may just want to detail the face of the rim, and that's something you may want to talk about your customer with, or talk about with your customer if you're a pro detailer. But basically, let me show you how this Mcguire's wheel brightener works. It's very simple. It's not complicated at all. I dilute it. It's a concentrate, so I dilute it 5 to 1. On the back, it says you can dilute it up to 4 to 1. I just dilute it 5 to 1 because that's easier math in my head. And one dilution off is not going to make any difference. So this bottle is diluted 5 to 1, so 5 parts water, 1 part wheel brightener. And all I do is I'll start off by spraying it not on the face of the wheel, but on the inside, on the inner barrel of the wheel, because I want to detail out all of the inside. So I will go just like this and not really focus on the face of the wheel, but focus on the inner barrel. Now this brush is called an easy detail brush. There's another brush that's called a Speedmaster. I will put a link below this video in the description box for this brush because it gets in between the wheels, or the wheel spokes, I guess you could say, and it is rubber on the rod part that bends, and so it's not going to scratch anything, and these bristles are fairly soft, and so all I do is I do just like this. I stick it in between every single spoke, and I just move it around, and I move the wheel brightener around just like this. Okay, and after I have detailed it all out with my brush, I just take my hose and I spray it, and I just rinse it off. So let me show you how great it breaks it down. If you can see, so there's still a couple spots. That's very natural because but you can see how this is no longer dark. You can't really see back behind, but it did detail out all that stuff. So the acid really breaks it down well. So let me take you back here and show you how I detail the face of the rim. So again, I'll take my Mcguire's wheel brightener. I'll spray it all over the face of the rim. And when I say face of the rim, all I mean by that is the more exposed part of the wheel. I'll get it all in these nuts and bolts. And then I take this brush, which is, it comes with this brush, and this is a wheel brush, this is a wheel well brush. It's very soft, it's feathered at the end, so it's safe and it will not scratch the rim. And I literally just scrub the rim like this, and I'll go back in sometimes with my hand and get the corners detailed out that are more difficult to reach with the brush with this specific wheel. And I don't use a separate brush to get in between these little holes with the nuts and bolts, because I've found that those brushes really just are kind of a waste of money. They don't stand up well, they don't hold together well. So I just take these and I shove it into these spaces right here, because these bristles are so sturdy, they stay up. I've used this brush for a really long time now, and it still works. And I'll take my hose and I just spray it off just like that. And if it was sunny outside, I would wipe the water off so that water spots didn't show up. But I mean, check that out. You can see how much cleaner that is from before. I mean, you can rewind the video and check it out, how dirty it was before. But I mean, this is what I'm talking about right here. There are some spots that are permanent and you can't do anything about, okay? Because the brake dust has corroded into it. But see, if you can see, even inside the, it's not focusing, but if you step back, it is very, very clean. So Meguiar's Wheel Brightener is very, very effective, and you can see how it just absolutely broke down the brake dust, no problem, because it's acidic. And so, focus. So because it's acidic, and so the acid reacts with the brake dust in a very, very effective way, and it breaks it down. It actually breaks it down without me even having to scrub anything. It will break it down without me even having to scrub, because that's how effective it is. And again, I dilute it 5 to 1. So anyways, this is kind of a shorter video, but I'm going to put a link for this brush because it's safe for the rim. I'm going to put a link for the Easy Detail brush because it gets in between the spokes and it'll detail the brake dust out from the inner barrel. And I'm going to put a link to the Meguiar's Wheel Brightener below this video. It's in the description box. Click the Show More box. It'll show you the whole description box, and it'll be very clear. There'll be a title and a link underneath exactly where you can go and get this product. If you do want to get any of these products, make sure to use my links. And once again, guys, this is just a very, very easy, safe. It is very safe to use. Not going to dry anything out, not going to corrode anything, not going to do anything like that. I hope that makes sense from the beginning of the video. And once again, guys, my name is Luke, and I own a business called Wilson Auto Detailing, and my YouTube channel is called Wilson Auto Detailing, and I would very much appreciate it if you would subscribe to my channel if you like what you see, because it shows me that I can keep making these videos because people actually like it, and it's helping them. So my goal is to help you. Make sure to leave a comment below if you want me to make a video about anything specific. But number 1, subscribe to my channel. Number 2, like this video if you like it. Dislike it if you dislike it. Number 3, leave me a comment if you'd like me to make a video about something specific, because my goal is to help you do-it-yourselfers, car enthusiasts, and detailing professionals. So guys, until next time, make sure you stay updated with my channel because I'm posting videos on a weekly basis, sometimes 2 to 3 times a week. So guys, that's all for now. I'll see you next time.